In this week's Parashat Bo, Moshe Rabbeinu warns the Egyptians about the plague of the firstborn, the killing of the firstborn, and it says, "Kachatzot halayla ani yoseh betuch Mitzrayim." Around midnight, I will go. Says Hashem, I will go in Mitzrayim. I will go in the midst of Egypt. Around midnight. In reality, when Hashem told Moshe about the plague, he told him at midnight exactly. But Moshe Rabbeinu changed. Right? He changed. He said around midnight. Why? Because he was afraid that the astrologers of the Egyptians will make a mistake about the exact time of midnight. And when the plague of the firstborn will come, they will say, Moshe and his God are liars. They said it's going to come at midnight, but it didn't come at midnight. So to preclude that, Moshe Rabbeinu said around midnight, so that nobody will come and say that anybody's a liar. Nobody will have any excuses. Everybody will see the hand of Hashem. So can you imagine this? Can you imagine what's going on? Moshe Rabbeinu is going to be 10 for 10 with the Makkah of the Bechorot, the firstborn dying. Then all the firstborns are going to be laying down on all of Egypt, dead. And the Egyptians and Pharaoh are going to walk around saying, Moshe Rabbeinu and their God is a liar. It didn't come at midnight. We calculated, and we didn't get and it was at midnight. Can you imagine? That's what they would do? The Torah is telling us that yes, if somebody wants to find fault with something, no matter what you do, no matter what the situation is, he or she will find fault. He or she will always criticize. That's the kind of person they are. So how do you deal with such a person? So a lot of times, for example, in the marriage, you have one spouse that is very critical, always finds fault, what we call blemishing the other partner. And first of all, why is that? Why does that happen? Why does one spouse feel the need to find faults and criticize the other? Could be many factors. On a basic level, could be that one spouse is unhappy about something in the marriage, is unhappy about, for example, the way that they're raising their children, the way maybe they don't have children. Maybe, for example, the husband is upset about the wife going to work. Maybe he's upset about the fact that the wife is not going to work. Whatever it is, there's something underneath the criticism. There's something underneath the always finding fault and the nitty-picky detailing, finding faults. Or it could be that one of the spouses has a fear of intimacy, has a fear of getting close and an emotional bond. So subconsciously he tries to distance himself, not to have that emotional bond, not to have that intimacy. And how does he or she distance himself? By finding faults, by criticism. This way, he'll remove himself, he'll distance himself from the spouse, thus not having that intimacy that he's so fearful of. It could be from feelings of inferiority, that if a person feels inferior, feels inadequate, so he will do anything to put others down, right? He will find the fault, he will criticize, so this could uplift himself up. He sees himself on a low plane. So when he puts others down, when he puts his wife down, this way he feels a little bit more satisfaction. He feels a little bit better about himself. Or maybe he feels that negative self-esteem and self-image himself. Maybe he feels that he's the one that should get criticized. Maybe he has all the faults, but he's projecting onto his wife the things that he should be saying to himself, or he should be addressing regarding himself, the finding faults and the criticism that he deserves, or he feels that he deserves. He's projecting it onto the other spouse. Be it as it may be, the point is that there, underneath the criticism, underneath the finding faults, there's hurt. People who are hurt other people. Again, people who are hurt other people. There's something beneath the criticism. There's something beneath always finding fault in your spouse. There's something deeper than that. And the first step in to dealing with that is to have that conversation with your spouse to see, okay, there's constant criticism, there's constant finding faults, nitty picky things, right? What can we do? What is beneath all that? What is beneath all that criticism? Is there something that we can do together as a team? Is there something that we could do together as husband and wife to address this? So let's do it, because this can't go on anymore, right? What is it beneath all these things? What is the underlying issue that is happening here? Can we together address this issue? And if not, if the answer is no, if the answer is more complicated, then maybe at that time it's time to seek professional help. At that time, maybe you should get somebody else who could guide you through this and to find these underlying issues and the reason behind all this criticism and the reason behind one spouse always finding fault in the other partner. So, Hakadosh Baruch Hu should help us that instead of finding fault in our spouses, we will find their positives. Instead of criticizing them, we should find their strengths to have more happier marriages, to be more happier people, and to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu with more happiness. Shabbat Shalom.